Here's how to become more abundant. Abundance is our connection with everything. It's an internal state. So often we think it's the amount of physical things we have, but it's us. We are abundance. And if we don't find ourselves around the material world we want, whether it's the place you live, the relationships you have, the amount of money you have, then you're not owning up to your abundance and you're blocking it. So many of the ways in which we block our abundance is the way in which we were raised, the conditioning. If you find yourself, looking for different discounts and bargaining with people, if you find yourself going to the grocery store and comparing different items based on, the few cents of price, the dollar amount, if you find yourself wanting something but saying, I need to wait for this check to come in or for this to happen, then you are not owning up to your abundance. Every single time that you take one of these actions, that you view that there isn't an infinite amount of money always by your side, and you choose that, then you're choosing the opposite of your abundance. You're telling your mind, your subconscious, your body that you're not worth it. You can think of it as like you have a little child in you, and every time that child wants something, you say no to yourself. You say, nope, we don't want to have it. And over time, every time you make that action, you're repeating that. And then the universe gives you back the same exact thing. And people pick up on it too. So often, even with business trips, right? I'm going on a big mastermind soon, and people are looking at how to save money and, be with different people and split the cost of accommodations, even when they're making tens of thousands of dollars each month. And yet it's that mindset, that lack of abundance that keeps them from accepting, from taking in money. Now, what if we do the opposite? What if we treat ourselves to the nice things even before we actually have the money? Well, then we get into some of the most important elements of actually abundance, which is we actually need to have faith. And we need to take, part of having faith is it's taking that leap. And for a lot of us, that risk is so scary. But really, abundance is just the path between fear and contraction and certainty. And abundance is that walking that path, making those jumps into trusting. Hey, I don't know how this is going to happen with the money, but I'm willing to make a bet, to invest in myself, to move here, to take this opportunity, go on this retreat, whatever it may be, and just know that the money will follow. And the key thing with abundance is you don't know how it's going to have to happen. So often it's our mind that wants to figure, well, how is it going to happen? But that's not your job. Your job is to know what you want and remain faithful in your heart. So the first step to abundance is you got to have faith. And that faith it's not in the mind, it's in here. You're going to feel it. And it's a certainty. And so often when we're looking for these discounts, we're looking for security. But we're looking for security on the outside. And that's a terrible place to find security. If your sense of security, whether it's money, relationships, emotional security, is on the outside, then you are always going to feel insecure, because security is within you. And the fundamental part about faith, which is in your heart, and you feel it there, is it feels secure. And when you feel that sense of inner security, that's when the outside world starts to reflect that. So the first thing you need for true abundance is you got to have faith, you got to take risks. The second thing that matters for abundance is you got to start vibrating high. If you're feeling low, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling frustrated, the universe is going to reflect that. So much of us who we want more for ourselves, we're desiring much, we're working so hard. Well, the universe is just a reflection of us. And if our part of our emotional state is, I don't have something, which is essentially what the emotions of desire, frustration are. Desire says, I want something, I don't have it. Frustration is the worst. Frustration says, I don't have something and I'm pissed off. And so we are literally just a mirror for the universe. And if the emotions and the thoughts that we're sending out to the universe are, I don't have, and I'm pissed I don't have it, the universe doesn't really care. It's not judging us. It's just giving back what we're putting out. So if you want to start feeling better and being more abundant, you got to start feeling this next emotion, which is gratitude. Gratitude is the highest emotional vibration for abundance. Gratitude says, not only do I have something, I'm grateful that I have it, but it feels good and I'm thankful for it. And so much of the time, we're waiting for, I'll be grateful when that thing happens. No. You got to flip it. The way that the quantum world works is, it's not Newtonian. It's not this happens and this happens. It's You got to choose that state, that reality, that timeline right now that you're grateful for, whether it's the money that you're receiving, that new suit you want, that relationship you have, and you got to feel it in your body. Really bring up that gratitude. Even if it sounds like to your mind that you're faking it, that's an imposter, no. Try to grab that gratitude. And when you can walk around with gratitude, knowing in your body that it's already done, you already have it, then the universe is just going to bring it to you. You don't need to know how. Again, that's the part of faith and trust we talked about earlier. So first, faith, trust. Second, gratitude. The third element is just tapping into abundance, choosing it, is it's acting as if. So even before you have the money, the job you want, the position you want, the deal, the client you want, you got to act as if you already have it. And that's not about being arrogant or being disillusional. It's just putting yourself in the energy of the kind of person that has what you want. Is the kind of person that you're trying to be. What kind of clothes are they wearing? How do they smell? How do they walk? How do they talk? Who do they interact with? What kind of places do they go? And even if, physically speaking, you say you can't afford that right now, how can you get in that energy? And even if it means just buying yourself that watch that puts you in that state, or that shirt or that suit, or you go to the country club and you buy that golf set. You got to act as if it's already done. And that's the physical part of just choosing the reality you want. And it requires faith, of course. And that's so hard for most of us because our minds are saying, no. If I spend the money, things are going to happen. But you got to have that internal faith. And you got to actually act as if and just walk in that path of abundance. And that's where we go from fear and contraction, and the universe doesn't love me, it doesn't support me, to just step by step taking those risks. And the bigger risks you take, the better. Those quantum leaps is, the universe supports me, I'm abundant, I'm ever connected with everything, but I just have to be able to surrender and let go of those fears, then trust that the universe will catch me and that abundance will be there. And when you step into that energy, that's when things start to come to you. So often when we take the biggest risks, that's when we get the biggest rewards. Every single time that I've taken a risk to get a better apartment and living space, right after is when the biggest deal for me comes through. And it's the same with all different clients I work with. The first thing that I tell clients to do when they have money issues is you got to get a new wallet. Forget that, $50, $100 wallet you have. Get yourself something really nice. Something that actually tells yourself, your subconscious mind, that you're worth it. And the biggest blocks that all of us have around abundance is we just don't believe we're worth it. That's the fundamental block behind abundance, is that fundamentally we don't think that we're good enough for it. We don't think that we're worthy. And so what a life it is to live like that. So abundance isn't just about having material things. That's one thing. But it's about owning up to our worth. And it's our God-given right and to know our worth, to own our worth, to live in it. And that worth comes with the material world. It comes with the beautiful relationships, with all the love and positive emotions you want. But we gotta own our worth. And so if you're constantly chasing deals, negotiating people down, looking at ways to save money, then you're not owning your abundance. You're not owning your God-given worth of being connected with all that is. So with those blocks, that's a whole other thing that we need to do, is actually get into the body and see where in your body from different traumas are you storing these old trapped emotions of feeling not good enough, of not feeling worthy. Because every single time that you try to choose and make actions, in the outside world, those emotions will be knocking, say, no. Mom or our aunt said, when I was 5, that I'm not worth it, that we need to save money, we need to be safe. And so you need to actually let go of those fundamental energies that are creating those voices, are creating that conditioning, that those chains really. And when you're abundant, it feels like you're flying. It feels like just total grace, that the universe laid a red carpet for you. You're the creator. The security is no longer in the outside world, how the stock market doing, how the weather's doing, what your spouse says to you, but it's within you. And that's all empowering. All empowering to know that you are the abundance, that you are the worth, and it's something that you just got to choose. And just start by doing it with really these 3 things: having faith, being grateful, and acting as if. And you'll find abundance shortly thereafter.